and McDonald's is putting all of the food allergies on here now, and they're mentioning wheat all over the place. Man, a lot has changed. Food allergy? I highly doubt anything at McDonald's is gluten-free. This is the last place I would go for a gluten-free burger.
Hi, what can I get you?
Hi, can I get 3 spicy McChickens?
Anything else?
That's all.
19 second window, thank you.
Thank you! Spicy McChickens. I have celiac disease. Keep in mind these aren't for me, because if I eat these, I would probably have to go to the hospital. And then it's like, why would I go to the hospital? They can't fucking do anything. There's literally no treatment for celiac. So I would pretty much have to lie in bed, rubbing my gut back and forth for the next couple hours. Probably feel like I'm gonna die. It's like, I feel the symptoms flaring on when I eat something that even has like any gluten at all. Even if it's been in contact with gluten, I will know within like an hour or two, or maybe a couple hours, because I start feeling like crap. Like my body feels achy and fatigue. I feel fatigue. My gut feels rumbly. Diarrhea more than usual. Sometimes I feel a little bit itchy. It's like a flat out allergic reaction. It's annoying. Damn it. Where's my wallet? Don't mind me, I'm just getting McDonald's. Someday, maybe by the time I'm like 80 years old, I'll be able to have McDonald's again. Or some sort of gluten products. Or maybe by then gluten isn't even going to exist anymore because everyone is going gluten-free. Even people that don't have celiac disease or gluten allergies or whatever, there's so many people that go gluten-free anyway. Even my friend Alex from Sweden is avoiding gluten because it says, because he said, and I quote, it makes him fart too much. So even Alex, the Swedish meatball, is gluten-free. Like not 100%, but he avoids gluten anyway because apparently, according to him, it makes him fart too much. I mean, gluten is just a crappy diabetic fatty protein. It's not exactly good for you. It increases your chances of like diabetes and weight gain and fat. It's kind of pointless. So it's like going gluten-free isn't necessarily a bad thing, even if you don't have to. I mean, my advice, if you don't have to go gluten-free, fuck no, don't do it. It's pointless. It's annoying. But if you want to go gluten-free anyway, it's actually pretty good for you because gluten and most wheat products are bad anyway. Especially white bread. White bread is literally diabetic bread. I call the white bread the diabetic bread. It just gives you diabetes. That's all it's good for. The only kind of bread that I usually would have when I could have it is whole wheat. That's pretty good for you. Because it's like, where do you get your grains from? You gotta get them from something. Hi, folks!
$3.19, Lynn?
Yep.
Want your receipt?
Yes. Thank you. Man, I forgot how cheap McDonald's is. 3 spicy McChickens are only $3. Shit. $3. Damn, man. I miss fast food. McDonald's is so cheap. I could get so fat off this stuff if I could eat it. After I grow a pair of nuts and I go to my gastrologist to get put to sleep so they can do the endoscopy, they're gonna finally find out what's wrong with me because damn well I know, they know, everyone knows that something else is going on, which is why I'm so damn skinny and underweight and I can't gain weight and I'm still having symptoms despite being gluten-free and all this crap. I'm malnourished. Something else is going on. and I'm almost certain, I could bet money on it, I'm like 95% certain that whatever it is, it's treatable. It is definitely treatable, either with antibiotics, anti-inflammatory, a mix of the both. Maybe steroids. It depends. I don't want to be on steroid medicine, but anti-inflammatory if I have chronic inflammation going on, if it's like Crohn's disease or something. I don't think it's Crohn's disease, even though my cousin apparently has Crohn's disease. Thank you. But I feel like the other problem that I might have is related to a bacterial imbalance. I think I might have like some sort of a fungal infection going on in my small intestines, or some sort of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Because if you look up the symptoms of those kind of problems, literally every symptom that I've been having is related to small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or possibly some sort of like fungal overgrowth infection type deal. Because I've been studying the bowel problems since I was 21, because that's how long I've had celiac disease. Obviously, when you're put into the situation that I'm put into, where you have this chronic problem, you have to go on a strict diet, you have to do tons of research over, what foods to avoid, what is the best kind of food to have when you have this kind of condition, you have this kind of food allergy. And during that time, I've done years of research and years of unfortunate experimenting on the kind of foods and what kind of bowel problems have what symptoms, what triggers it, what bowel problem does what. And I've learned that there's several dozen different bowel disorders. And the main ones is celiac disease, there's Crohn's, colitis, small intestinal, there's IBS, there's multiple different types of IBS too. There's so many different types of Crohn's and colitis. I feel like I don't have colitis or Crohn's disease because usually with those, you typically have pain. You have abdominal pain. And a lot of the times you even have crap, like you have blood in your crap. I've never had any of those. The only time I've ever had like pain in my gut is if I eat something with gluten in it. It usually gives me gut pain. And another thing is that I can't have fat, which further proves my suspicion over it might be a bacterial overgrowth problem that's taking over my small intestines. Because, part of this malnutrition problem is that your body doesn't absorb stuff. My body's not absorbing fat either. Apparently, it just causes more problems. Well, if you look up small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, it mentions a lot of symptoms, including gut discomfort, bloatedness, gas, chronic diarrhea, fatigue, malnourishment, weight loss. I've been suffering from literally every one of those symptoms. Not to mention that it is also closely related to first bowel problem that it brought up, celiac disease. That is one of the first bowel problems that it mentioned that it is commonly associated with. And it also said that it's commonly associated with other things like IBS and Crohn's disease and crap like that. So based off of all of the symptoms that I've been having, there is a pretty good chance that it could be that, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going based off my symptoms and what it's typically tied to. I've been researching the same crap forever, especially the past few months, because it's driving me crazy. Time to donate my old chin-up bar because it is annoying. I'll just leave that right there. I donate a lot of stuff. I don't just throw it away. If I can't, I either recycle it or I give it away. Yeah. If it is a small bacterial overgrowth kind of deal or a fungal problem, which I'm pretty sure it is, but it might be something else. I'm not 100% sure. But that would be amazing if it was something like that, because small bacterial overgrowth it's so easily treatable. Like literally, if they find out that that's what it is, like what is the treatment for that? If they found out that it was the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth problem, it would be awesome, because literally I would just have to go on antibiotics for like a couple weeks. Bam, it's gone. And I'd probably still have to do like follow-ups, just to see how I feel and whatnot, because supposedly it has chances of relapsing. It's something that kind of has to be monitored from time to time. Like every 6 to 8 months or so, you'd have to, just get a checkup. If your symptoms start coming back again, then, they'll just have to put you back on the medicine for a little bit, maybe a week or two. It's not really a big deal. It's usually like you go on antibiotics for a week or 2 weeks, and then usually you'll just go on to you'll take like a probiotic supplement or something. You'll just basically just take probiotics from there onward to just keep the bacteria balanced in your gut. But it's like, I'm not gonna take any supplements. I'm not taking anything. And other than being gluten-free, I'm really not gonna modify my diet at all until I get, until I find out what the hell this problem is. Why am I not absorbing nutrients properly that's causing my anemia and my other vitamin deficiencies? What is causing all of this? Because, I'm just guessing. We're playing in the dark, and it's like, I could have had this figured out 3 years ago when I initially went to the gastrologist to have not only an endoscopy, but a colonoscopy. They're going to do both at the same time to figure out what the problem was. And I chicken shit it out. I was too much of a chicken shit to have them put me to sleep for 20 minutes so they could get it over with. Because I remember it just doesn't make any sense. At first, when I went over there, it was just I wasn't scared at all. It was just let's get this over with. I went over there at 7 or 8 in the morning. I was tired. I was starving because I had to take that stupid laxative. I had to drink a whole gallon of laxative the night before to completely empty out my gut. So then, I got there the next morning, and, first thing I was saying is I just want to get this over with already so I can eat something. I'm starving. And everything was fine up, I literally I got into those stupid medical robes, and I went onto the bed. They hooked me up to everything. They got everything hooked up. They put the IV in my arm. They were literally about to put me to sleep. And right as they were about to put me to sleep, I just started panicking. I don't know what the hell my problem was. Because they started saying something that was making me freak out or something. They were saying ooh, if you start feeling some warm feeling or some burning sensation, then it means that the needle wasn't in your arm right or something. I'm like, what the hell? And they put an oxygen mask over my face too, and it was just, I don't know. I just literally last second I just started panicking. I could literally hear and see my heart rate practically doubling on the damn heart monitor. My heart was racing because I was am I gonna die? And then they noticed I was going into panic mode, so they just ended up not doing it. I feel what the hell? Maybe if they didn't tell me those stupid things initially, maybe I wouldn't have freaked out so much. I don't know. Everywhere I've heard that people that have had general anesthesia where they got to be put to sleep for whatever reason, they do a minor surgery or they do a colonoscopy or some crap like that where they got to be put to sleep for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. I've heard that it's pretty much the same with pretty much every experience that I've heard from other people online. From even my mom has been put to sleep 10 times, and they've all told me the same thing. Even my gastrologist said that he had to be put to sleep 5 times already, and they all said the same thing. It just feels like you're taking a nap. It makes you go to sleep really quick, but other than that, it really doesn't feel much different than just you feel really tired all of a sudden and you just want to go to sleep. And then you wake up and you're just like, oh, what happened? Oh, that was a nice nap. Are we going to get this procedure done or what? And they're like, oh, we're already done. And I'm like, what the fuck? What year is it? Well, for some reason, I'm paranoid, and I feel like I'm going to go on a major trip or something, because I think it all started with the whole marijuana. When I smoked weed for the first time when I was like 16, and I was a rebel. I didn't care. I would just jump into stuff. I was reckless. And that's what I did for my first time trying drugs. Marijuana is a drug. I smoked a ton of it the first time. And I just kept smoking it more and more and more, and it wasn't doing anything because I was sitting down at a park. We were just sitting behind like a fence or something. We kept smoking it, and like 30 minutes later, I wasn't feeling anything, so I just kept smoking more and more and more. We were smoking it through an apple. We made a little pipe out of an apple that we stole from the store, because back then I was a dumbass and I was always stealing shit because I never had money. I just didn't care. And then I still didn't feel anything, so I was like, okay, Phil, let's just get up and go ride around or something. I'm bored. So right as we got up, got on our bikes, and started riding through the park. And literally, like within a minute after getting on my bike and we started heading through the park and through the grass, it hit me like a brick. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening right now? Because keep in mind, I've never felt this before, and I smoked a lot. I thought I was gonna die. Like, I thought I was gonna pass out or something. It hit me so hard, so quick, that like my whole body just felt like I couldn't feel anything. My whole body was just flat out like fuzzy and weird. My vision was like all distorted and wavy looking, and everything felt like it was slowing down like crazy. I was like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm not breathing. It felt like someone was stepping on my chest or something. I felt like I was breathing, but I wasn't. I was hyperventilating. And I was just like, fuck, I can't breathe. So like I ended up like grabbing my drawstring backpack. I grabbed my phone and called 911, and I just threw my phone at my friend, and I like fell onto the grass, and I went onto my back and I started rubbing my chest really fast because like I think I was having like acne medicine back then. And it for some reason, it made me feel like this weird watery feeling in my chest. I don't know why. And I was also doing a lot of benching. Back when I was in high school, I was doing a lot of gym time. I'd be doing benching. So my chest, at the time just felt, really tense anyway from working out and doing a lot of benching. And then the medicine I was taking for my acne was kind of, I don't know. I don't know if the medicine was doing anything or not. But either way, basically being stoned as shit was accelerating all of those feelings like times 100. It was ridiculous. So it just felt like someone was flat out stepping on my chest, and like it was like I was breathing, but it felt like I wasn't. So I just kept breathing faster and faster. That's when I was hyperventilating, and it was scary because I just didn't know what to expect. And fucking fire department ended up showing up. And, I remember Phil being too afraid to like tell them like, because they're wondering like, okay, what's going on? What is wrong with him? And he was really hesitant to like say what we were doing. We didn't have any weed on us because the only weed that we had, we already smoked it all. So we didn't have anything on us. It's not like anything's going to happen. We're not going to get in trouble. But I was just sitting there like, continuing to go through a panic mode. I was dealing with that for like the next 40 minutes. And I just told him like, just tell them. So he basically told them like, yeah, we smoked a little bit of weed. And, we ended up not getting in trouble because they figured like the horrific experience that I had was already punishment as it was. And they kind of figured I'm not going to do it again after that, so it's kind of whatever. And then I remember my dad ended up picking me up, and I went home, and I went straight to bed, and I just flat out passed out. Like, I passed out hardcore, like, within a minute of just crashing onto my bed. I just fell asleep. I don't even remember what the hell happened. I just fell asleep really quick. I have never fallen asleep that quick in my life. Like, normally, I'm such a bitch when it comes to sleeping. I'll fall asleep, sure, but, like, I end up tossing and turning for, like, a straight hour before I even get close to actually sleeping. But, like, that time, like, I was so high. When I got home and I just fell face first into my bed. And I didn't even move. Like, within, like, a minute, I was just completely passed out. And I woke up, like, 8 hours later. Like, I think it was, like, 2 or 3 in the afternoon or something. And then when I woke up, it was, like, 10 at night. And I did not wake up at all. I slept for, like, a good 8 straight hours. You know, because I was like, what time is it? It was daylight when I fell asleep. I put my head down on my bed. Next thing I know, like 8 hours went by. I was like, what the fuck? Because like after I got past the whole, because that's just how my body reacts to marijuana, because I've been high like probably 7 or 8 times. Every single time I felt the same. My body, that's just how my body reacts to it during the first like 40 minutes or so. I go through this adrenaline panic mode. My body just panics. That's how I react to it. There's nothing I can do. The last time I was high, I already knew like this is what's happening. So I just monitored my breathing and I just stayed calm, and it eventually went away after like 40 minutes. That's just how I react to marijuana, and it's not enjoyable. That's why I don't, like, sure, if I didn't have to go through that initial panic mode of being high, I wouldn't necessarily mind it, but like I don't like that feeling at all. So that's why like I just don't smoke marijuana. The most I've ever done, you know, the only thing I've ever done is alcohol. You know, I'll drink booze. I've never had any problems with that. But other than that, I mean, I just don't do drugs. I don't smoke, period. I do not ever smoke. It's just not something that I've ever been interested in. It's pointless. Literally all it does is cause more health problems. And, you know, with the health problems I have now, I think that's more than enough. I don't want to deal with anymore. But anyway, I'm home now. I've been talking way too much. I don't know how I haven't crashed into anything because I've been talking a lot more than I normally do. But I'm hungry and I'm going to go eat something now. So, see you folks.